Hello, everybody. I'm Brian,
And I'm Brian.
and this is Brian versus Brian, episode 185, Troll 2. All right, Troll 2, kind of on people's lists for worst movie ever made or best worst movie ever made. That was the name of the documentary about it.
Yeah.
Very good documentary. I highly suggest watching that.
Well, I haven't seen that. I want to go back and watch it because I'm assuming they have like
Yeah.
cast interviews and shit like that.
Oh yeah, it's good. It pretty much
Nice.
follows the dad
Mm.
going to like Comic Cons and him realizing that this movie's actually popular, and so he during the documentary he starts to think he's like a star, and it's really weird. And it was made by the kid in the
Oh,
movie.
interesting.
Yeah, the little kid Michael Stevenson. So pretty cool. Um, Lots of weird stuff with this movie. So it was released October 12th, 1990. Um, Budget of $100,000.
It shows.
It all
God.
goes to masks and
Gore
green
and
goop.
yeah.
Just green goop on everything. Produced under the original title Goblins, American distributors marketed it as a sequel to the 1986 horror film Troll. However, the two are unrelated. Troll 2 features goblins and has no trolls.
Yeah.
The film was produced by Filmirage. Development was rife with difficulties, largely due to the language barrier. I guess the whole cast spoke Italian, other than the actors. And so that even the actors said that they were given their lines scene by scene, and it was written in this broken English, and they offered to change it to make it more easy to understand and phonetic, and they refused. No, you read it verbatim, or you don't do it at all.
Oh my
So
God.
that's where some of the charm comes from. It's gained a cult following. Uh, the filmmakers now say that it was always intended to be a comic film. I don't know.
I don't buy.
But
I don't buy that.
but Stevenson, the kid, later directed the critically acclaimed 2009 documentary Best Worst Movie about the production and subsequent popularity of Troll 2. Yeah, that's just weird. They like to name it Troll 2.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that.
It's like
It'd be cool.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch has nothing to do with Michael Myers or anything. You're just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, but at least that was made by the group. And like they
Yeah,
wanted,
that's
okay,
true.
how about every new one is like an anthology film.
Yeah.
It's just called Halloween and we tell a creepy story. This is just absolutely nothing to do with anything. It's only just, well, it's Troll 2.
Yeah.
Not that I've never even heard of Troll or seen Troll, so it couldn't have been that popular. Like, it's not going to help you that much.
Yeah, I've never seen Troll, but I always saw it at God, why do I always forget that rental store in
Sunburst?
Yeah. But the VHS cover I always remember seeing it's like a photo of a door and like that's kind of open and there's like a troll kind of sticking out. I remember seeing that box cover art all the time. Never saw it though.
Yeah, so I remember this movie played, for some reason, I think it played a lot on HBO,
Mm.
and that's how I caught it. And I just always had these memories of liking it as a kid, and I would explain it to people. I couldn't ever remember the name. I would explain the plot, and no one ever knew what the fuck I was talking about. No one had ever seen it. And then one day, as an adult, I just got tired of it, and I started like Googling parts I remember. I was like, I gotta figure out what the fuck this movie was, and found out it was Troll 2. And my memory was a little bit off because I kept describing, yeah, there's like this thing with milk in the town. Like the
Mm.
townspeople, they wouldn't let you have milk or it was banned or something. And now watching the movie, milk is in it. There's 2 points, and then it seems to be completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
They never explain, like, there's milk in the fridge when they come to this town, and then the store has milk they try to give away.
Hmm.
Like, here. And then they never go into it any deeper. And I was like, what the fuck was this? Anyways, we start off as like almost like a Christmas story beginning,
Hmm.
right?
Or Princess
Grandpa.
Bride, where the grandpa's
Yeah,
reading
Princess
to
Bride.
Fred
That's what I was
Savage, and
thinking of. Princess
yeah.
Bride. That's the one. Grandpa telling the kid a story. What was his name? Joshua. Telling Joshua a story. And what was it? That's the land of small creatures, evil little creatures, goblins. And this guy, and then a beautiful girl, and she's got fake freckles
Yeah,
and shit.
just like little dots on the.
She was so
Oh my
gorgeous.
god.
Her face was sun kissed with freckles. And she feeds him this green goop. Always this green goop. Are you hungry? And turns him into this green goop turns him into a plant type creature that the goblins can eat. And there's another this whole thing's about vegetarianism and some weird shit about hating meat. Um, the person who wrote it, I forget her name, but I guess she wrote this after like a bunch of her friends turned vegetarian, and she was pissed about it. So she wrote this kind of
Oh my god.
this evil vendetta against meat and against plant eaters. They were
Oh
evil
shit.
goblins. So it's really weird. And then another thing, all the people in this movie have like never acted before. They all went to this audition that was like in a newspaper, like back in the day, come audition to be in this movie, and they thought they were going to be extras, and they were all cast as the cast. That's how it went down.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
The guy, yeah, the guy who plays Michael Waits, the dad, George Hardy, he was just a dentist in this town and
Wow.
decided to go in for fun, and then like he's given the part where like the most speaking parts,
Hmm.
and it's hilarity ensues. So I do like a couple parts of this first intro scene, like where he's grandpa's telling the story, and then the kid interjects in the story, but grandpa, then like he's there with the girl. And like it's
Oh
him,
yeah.
hey, asking a question. It's like that's cool. I like that the way that's edited. And yeah, he's telling the story about goblins and scaring him. And then who was it? Somebody walks in, mom or dad.
Mom, yeah.
What are you? Yeah, what are you doing? And then grandpa disappears. And that's our first kind of inclination, like what the fuck? And we find out grandpa has died 6 months ago, and his spirit still haunts the little boy, Michael or Joshua. His real name's Michael. Um, yeah, then we get a little weird. Just so many weird things. And the whole movie is done with a Roland synthesizer.
Yeah.
The whole movie, the whole score, like a Sega Genesis, and we get introduced to the big sister, and she's working out with some high tempo. She's like got this tiny little weight she's doing, and she's in these weird flash dance outfit.
Hmm.
Mom comes in, looks,
Oh.
and then leaves. Then we
The
get to
boyfriend is fucking great when he comes into the room. That was fucking
yeah.
awesome.
You need to choose me or your friends.
Hmm.
I'm tired of it. Oh, you always have a group of friends with you, and I'm not into group sex. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I think she even called him a homo at one point. He's like, damn, I haven't heard that word in a long fucking time.
Yeah, like something about turn you homo.
Yeah.
My dad will turn you homo. I was like, what? And he's like, nuh-uh. She's like, yeah, huh? He'll cut off your nuts and eat them. He'll cut off your little nuts and eat them. I think was the exact
Oh
words.
my god. So good.
Well, threaten me with a good time. What was her name? Holly? I think it's Holly. And then yeah, it's funny. She's talking about his friends are always around him. Nuh-uh. And then his friends come up in the window. Hey, what the hell is the boyfriend's name? Elliot. Hey, Elliot, are we gonna go, man? There's some chicks down in town. There's like three of them hanging in the window.
Let's go get some pizza.
Oh yeah, and then we get some to the real plot device that they're going on a vacation to Nilbog, some tiny little town. I love the dad. You know what the population of Nilbog is? 26. It's gonna be great. We're gonna live like our ancestors, living off the land.
Yeah, we're gonna be farmers.
Yeah, and it's like a. I love it. I think it's the daughter telling the boyfriend about it. Yeah, we're going there, and you can come with us too, but it has to be just you. And it's an exchange program, so a family is coming to stay in our house while we stay in theirs. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, an exchange vacation program. So they mount up in the car to go to this little town for their trip. Anything? Oh yeah, he has a little dream on the ride there. That's pretty good,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
With all the goblins in the car. And that was actually some pretty good graphics when like what was it? Like trees were coming out of his chest and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That was actually
And then
some pretty
he.
cool effects. I was looking for the seams on that, like on his fingers, like the plants
Oh
coming
yeah,
out. I was
yeah,
looking for like, you know, the silliness of it, but I was like, damn, that actually looked pretty fucking dope.
yeah. It was pretty good. And then he just kind of comes to it, and his parents, oh my god, what's going on? Was I dreaming? It's like, no, we are eating you. No, it wasn't a dream. Like, what the fuck kind of question is this? Then they get to the town, and they see the family that they're replacing, and they're kind of very quiet and weird. Oh, thank you for opening your home to us. And just every line that the dad says is so good and so cardboard
Hmm.
and so so much a dentist, right?
Yeah.
So he is definitely
Yeah.
he's a town dentist totally. And they leave and they get in the truck. Oh, you're gonna love our house. It has all the amenities. A refrigerator, uh, films. He just says like
Mhm.
films. He doesn't say like a television. He's like, it's even got a microwave, and it's like, yeah, I think these guys have a refrigerator, bro. And I don't remember if that family says anything actually on the way out. Did they?
I
Just
don't
stay
remember.
silent. Yeah. Anyways, they go inside the house, um, and they're looking around. And what was the first thing that happened?
They have like a meal
They,
set out for them on the dinner table. Oh,
yeah,
how
like a
nice!
yeah. Now this is
Hospitality.
hospitality.
That comes
Let's
back
dig
later in a
in.
great line. Yeah.
Let's dig in. And they you have no idea how long this has been sitting on the table.
Yeah.
They're just like, let's dig in. Um, and everything the goblins try and get them to eat is like, um, it's like a pastry. Everything's like a
Yeah. It's like a
pastry,
cake or yeah.
or yeah, like bread, and it's always got green frosting or green goop,
Hmm.
just gooped on, and like all the drinks, even like there's a pitcher of
Oh
drink and it's
yeah.
green.
It's green.
Oh yeah, no one questions what this is. Oh yeah, here, you want a glass? What the fuck is it?
Yeah.
What? I've never even seen a green drink like this. Why are we? What the fuck? This must be what they call green tea.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's always like writing like "eat me" or "delicious" or some bullshit.
yeah. Oh yeah, it didn't he. Oh yeah, that's what happened. The family throws him a softball with a message on it, which happens more than once.
Hmm.
Throws the kid a softball and it says, uh, "Eat up before we eat you," or
Yeah.
something with
Yeah.
green like icing written on the ball. And he's like,
Oh my god.
"Huh? What does this mean?" I was like, "I don't get it." And they get in there, anyways, and the grandpa, um, where does the grandpa talk to him during this scene?
He's like
How does he?
rapping on the door, teet teet teet, and then the kid goes over and opens or not the door, the window, and then he
The
opens the
window.
window
Yeah, he's
and
outside the window.
Grandpa.
Grandpa Alex or something like that. He knows which grandpa he is. You don't
Yeah,
gotta be specific. The dead one that
yeah.
comes to you in the night.
Yeah.
He's the one. He knows who he is. The one who quite possibly was in hell this whole time. We'll get to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Uh, so, oh yeah, he tells him, "You can't. You gotta stop them, Joshua. They can't eat that stuff." The grandpa's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like of all the actors in this, he's like, seems like he did some day theater or something.
Yeah. He understood the
he's,
assignment for sure.
he's he's got something in him. He's like Don. He's the Don DeLuise character of this whole ensemble.
Oh God.
Um, you gotta stop them. How am I supposed to stop them, Grandpa? They don't listen to me. Um, and he's like, what do you say? You have 30
You
seconds
have
to
30
stop
seconds.
them.
Figure it
And he
out.
freezes him. And it's funny. They cut to rather than still framing this shot, they're just sitting there
Yeah. It's just like
frozen, and you see like her hand shaking a little bit. They
yeah.
blink.
So
Oh,
good.
and his big idea. I gotta do something. And he stands up on the table. I gotta do it. Unbuttons his fly,
Oh my
and then it
God.
cuts to like a little bit later. Oh, disgusting! Oh. I guess he pissed all over the dinner.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Is how he stopped him.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
god! And he pissed all over the dinner, and Dad grabs him up like a fucking pillowcase or like a fucking backpack, just
Yeah.
hauls him off to the room. And then the mom's like, "Don't hit him, honey! Don't hit him!" I think it deserves a hitting, but hey, she didn't. Um,
Yeah, I
and
love
he's
it. He's
walking
walking down
through,
the hall and he's like, "Are you good?" Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah,
like, do you guys see the writing up here? This is hospitality, because he's got the names on every room, like
yeah.
the daughters, Holly, and then Joshua, crudely written in crayon on a piece of paper taped to the doors. Oh, it's so funny.
Oh my God.
And he brings him to the room and just throws him on the bed, and then he starts like messing with his belt. He's like, "What are you gonna do to me, Dad?" And he thinks he's gonna beat the shit out of him with his belt. And he's like, "What I'm gonna do is tighten my belt up one loop to stop these hunger pains, and then I'm not gonna eat for the rest of this trip, thanks to you."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't know what you're doing, starting some hunger strike because you're mad about this trip. But let me tell you something. I went hungry once, so I got more practice than you. So you remember
Uh,
that."
and one of the best,
So
like,
you
you
don't
don't piss on hospitality or whatever.
you don't piss on hospitality.
Oh my God. So good.
Oh God. Uh, Anyways, he goes back, and then I think it's just nothing to this movie. He's just hungry again, and they look in the fridge, right? And there's nothing in here but some milk. Once again, the milk thing. It's like a Nilbog milk, and there's like four of them in there, and all we have is this milk, but it's like this. And she pours it out, and it's just thick. It's probably over a week old. Um, yeah. So I'll go into town with Joshua to the general store and find some food. And meanwhile, the boyfriend followed them there too. They're there in an
Oh
RV, and they
yeah, yeah.
stop
Him and his
before the
friends.
town for some reason. They just stop and randomly. Um,
Makes no sense.
yeah, right. Drinking Mountain Dew and talking about, oh, there's all these loose chicks here in Nilbog. uh, so they go into town and they go to the general store, which is closed. Because I think one of the buddies of the boyfriend went there before them,
Yeah.
right? And talked
He
to the
gets picked up
guy,
by the cop, and the cop drops him off at the store.
general store. And this is another good story. The general store proprietor, apparently, this is what I read, and I don't know, it's on Wikipedia, was a patient at a mental hospital
Whoa.
and was on a day trip. Like they let you out in the town, and then you got to come back at night. And he wanders onto the set, and they put him in the movie. And so that's not a performance per se. It's just this guy part like,
Wow.
he's like, "There's no meat here."
That's
Yeah,
nuts.
it's pretty crazy. And anyways, they're asking about things. He's like, "No, we're vegetarians here. Didn't you know?" And all we got is this milk. You can have one for free. Take it. Make sure you have your friends drink it too. And I don't know if the milk turns you into these plant things, because that's kind of what it feels like, how he's pushing it. But they never really established that.
Yeah.
Um, I guess they do, don't they? Because he takes a sip of it. Well, no, but he had the sandwich from the cop that had the goop in it. So
Yeah.
that's what's changing it. So I don't know what the fuck the milk is. Anyways, um, so yeah, then the proprietor leaves like to follow that kid after he's because he's sweating the green like
Hmm.
chlorophyll and all that crap. So he follows him to kind of get him, and that's why he's not at the store. So then the dad has to wait, and he sits in this uh, rickety rocking chair out in front that has a little vegetable
Cookbook.
cookbook.
Yeah.
He's reading it contently, and
And he
uh,
falls asleep within 20
yeah,
seconds.
yeah, fall asleep. And then the kid goes off on his freaking 1980s Nash skateboard. I don't remember what he does, why he leaves.
Yeah, he goes to the car, looks in the rear view, and Grandpa, you there? And then he sees
Oh
the
yeah,
street sign, and he's like, Nilbog is goblin spelled backwards. And then he like just races off for some reason.
this is their kingdom. Yeah, and it's never really established like that he has to see his grandpa in mirrors, but then half the time he's trying to. The
Yeah.
other half the time he can just appear next to your bed.
It's because
It's a
Holly
little
saw him in the mirror once, and now he thinks that
yeah,
he can see his grandpa in the mirror. Where the opening scene is in a fucking rocking chair in his room. I don't think he need a
yeah.
mirror.
You should have cut to real life, and he had like a mirror placed in the in the chair.
Oh god.
But yeah, damn. Oh, and before that, like another one of the friends leaves before the friend that goes to the store, the really goofy, nerdy one with glasses.
Yeah.
And he sees a chick run into the forest and chases her down and just tackles her. And I thought it was really weird. And no, they're trying to kill me. And she's trying to explain the food incident. And then the goblins come and he's like, let me take care of them. Hey, you little dwarves.
Yeah.
You can't be doing this to people. And they stab him. Ow!
Fuck. Oh
They
god.
take him back to this place. This fucking witch place. And it's almost, it's yeah. This witch who runs the town,
Oh
I guess.
my
And it
god.
reminded me a lot of that one movie where the witch turns the kids to mice with chocolate. What's that movie called? The
That
Witches?
witches?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're
Yeah.
right.
It kind of reminds me of that. Like she's
Mhm.
that kind of witch. She's kind of ugly because she has eye makeup and her lips are a little crusty and her teeth are bad.
Braces. Yeah. I was like, what the
It's
fuck? Uh,
I need an orthodontist. Um. So yeah, he's there now, and how does she get him to eat something?
she gives them
Oh yeah,
both
a
liquid or
healing
whatever. Yeah.
brew made
Yeah.
with the sap of a tree and essential oils. It's just like a Wicca.
Hmm.
This will heal your stab wound. Because he's like, we don't have hospitals. We just drink tree sap. And they drink it. And the chick starts freaking out and going upstairs, crawling up the stairs for some reason. Like, oh, this will be the escape route. There's always an
Yeah.
escape route upstairs. And then starts like, what's wrong with her? She's dying. Don't drink your brew. He's
Yeah,
still
shut
drinking it.
up. You talk too
And
much.
she starts melting on the walkway. melting into a pile of goo, and you just see the outline of the hole in the ground where she's laying there
Yeah.
with goo. And then the goblins come and start eating her, and this is kind of like one of the big taglines of the movie that people love and they meme and stuff. And it's like, what does he say? I was like, they're eating her.
They're gonna
And
eat
next, they're gonna
me.
eat me.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh my
god!
god! And the camera zooms in as he's fucking screaming it. So good.
Oh my god! And they don't eat him.
Yeah.
He doesn't turn to green goop like everyone else. He turns to like a tree. He turns to like a Groot,
Yeah.
which is actually some good effects of like his legs morphing
Mhm.
into roots.
Yeah,
There's some
totally.
good practical makeup effects right there. And I gotta say, I love that one goblin that just has the eyes that aren't human eyes. They're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
painted. And it's just fucking staring and bug-eyed. I fucking
Oh
love
my
that
god.
one. That was the scariest one, man. Uh,
I love when the friend comes in too and like rips the thing off his like, come on man, you gotta get me out of here. I'm a fucking tree. Come on, just pull me. It's just like what the fuck?
how do I get you out of here? Come on, you idiot! Grab the pot and pull me out. You never seen a tree man before? Come
Come on,
on,
man. Oh
come
my
on,
god.
prune me.
What the fuck?
Starts dragging him out, and then they see the witch, and I don't remember what she does to that kid, but
She slaps him and he flies onto a
oh
bed.
yeah,
And that's the last we ever see.
slaps him. He
We
flies
never
onto a
cut back.
bed.
We never cut back to see what happened. He just lands on the bed and that's it. Oh my god.
And then I remember it cuts back to the tree kid after he gets thrown to the bed. Oh no!
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus. You never know what her intent is. She's trying to eat you or trying to get laid, you know? This is a weird dynamic with her. And then we go back to the store. Um, Finally, like they're able to get into the general store, the dad and Joshua. And what do they do? Aren't they asking, "You got any eggs?" Or was that before?
I think that was before because the kid, after his dad falls asleep, he figures out the goblin spelled backwards in the rear view. He like skates off and then finds like a sermon happening, and he like crawls into the attic. And the guy's going off about people who eat meat and shit.
Yeah, they let the meat destroy their intestines, fester, give them stinky feces. Oh, and foul bladder movements. Ooh. Yeah, and he's like a preacher, and then all of a sudden we keep establishing new things. Like now they all have a clover, marking them a clover mole. Which, like I
The
did,
leprechauns now. Like what the
I was
fuck?
like, is that a clover? I can't. It just
Yeah, it
looks like
doesn't look
a
like one. Yeah.
it looks like a skin tag. It just looks like a little bit of it looks like a little bit of latex put on someone's skin,
Mm-hmm.
then textured. That's what it looks like. But okay. And then we don't establish kind of what that means, or kind of if these humans are goblins. You never really see. I don't quite remember those humans turning into goblins, but obviously they want to eat you too. It's just very strange, the rules and what's going on. Um, yeah, the sermon, and then we want to feed you this ice cream, and it's just once again some fucking goop
Mm-hmm.
in a bowl. And then his dad goes in to save him. Joshua, what are you doing to my son? "Oh, we're just trying to feed him ice cream. He's got a sweet tooth." "No, they're goblins and they're trying to eat us." Oh, he's got a playful imagination, that one. And they leave. Go back home. Um, yeah, it's just really. I just watched this minutes ago, and the plot points are hard to remember what's going on. And
Yeah, I think at this time, I think we also cut to the Holly going to the camper, and she like knocks on the door, and then I forget her boyfriend's name, but he comes out, and she says something like, you better choose over your friends, or which one are you gonna choose? And he's, I don't know. And then she like just fucking decks him in the face. And she's like, how about now?
Yeah.
Anyways, and then the dad on the way home on the way home from picking up his son sees them, and then he pulls over and kind of confronts the group.
Yeah, like he cares. He's like, you need
Yeah.
to pick my daughter or your friends. Yeah, just decks him in the face. Whoa, does that make your choice easier?
But yeah,
You're
and then
right, Rhino.
they all get in the van, and then they go back to the house. And as they show up, all of these cars are parked out front. And he's like, what the fuck? And he gets in there, and then literally everyone from the sermon that they just saw is in their living room having a party. And the mom's like, hey, come on in. We got a feast. It's amazing.
Look, they threw us this party. Bunch of green drinks and green pastries and goop.
Mm-hmm.
And then Grandpa shows up again. That's right, to Michael or Joshua. Damn it, Michael's his real name. I keep confusing him because of the documentary. Joshua, and he's like, "We'll have to have this, like a fire." He has a fire extinguisher to put out the fire. What fire? He hands him a Molotov cocktail. Take a guess. Why are we putting out the fire we're starting? Why don't we just not start it?
Oh my god.
It's the only way. Yeah, so they're gonna like throw a Molotov cocktail through the fucking window into the house or something. I don't understand the fucking plan. But they end up getting confronted by the preacher who his eyes turn yellow. By the power invested in me, I command you to go back to hell. And he's like, oh.
What the fuck is going on?
And then Joshua's like, were you really in hell, Grandpa? And he's like, I don't know. Or something like that. He's like, maybe for a bit. And let me show you what someone there taught me. It does like a lightning bolt at the guy.
Oh, shit.
Fuck. And who threw the Molotov? How does that work? Or did
I
he
don't
just
think he
lightning
did.
bolt
I
him
think
on
he just
fire?
lit him
They
on
never
fire.
even used the Molotov ever. Just sitting there
Oh, God.
unused. No, they just made a Molotov on set for no reason. Yeah, and then the dad comes out and sees him on fire, puts him out with the fire extinguisher, and then sees that it's a goblin corpse. What is this? What is this? And then all the sheriff, he was one of us and you killed him. Now you're next. And they're all just standing there staring at the family in the middle of the crowd. Family slowly creeps out through the crowd. And they let him. And he's like, to the house. And they all run into the house. And townsfolk are waiting outside. We got all day. It's like they don't want to come in. It's like,
Yeah.
make this easy on yourselves. Eat these sandwiches.
Yeah, just a bag of sandwiches.
They throw it up on the fucking porch. Eat these sandwiches so you can become something more edible for us.
God.
Come on, or else we'll have to kill you hard. It'll be harder. And then the crazy
shit.
mental hospital guy's like, if they don't eat the sandwiches, we'll have to soak the meat in vinegar. I was like, what? I imagine he just said that
Ad lib that.
on the set. He had no idea what's going on.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. So, the final confrontation. They're outside. How did they kill all the goblins? I do remember one important fun part was like they're holed up, and they go back out, and the sheriff's like, let's let them know we're still here.
Oh yeah.
Just shoots the gun in the air for no fucking reason. How come
Oh,
they're
yeah,
not
it's during the
showing any
seance,
sign of
yeah.
life? Yeah. Finally, Joshua says, you know what? Grandpa's been helping us this whole time. We really need Grandpa, but I think he might be gone forever back to hell. So we really need him. and I think it's the daughter,
Yeah, Holly's the one who
Holly, who
suggested it.
suggests,
Yeah.
let's do a seance. Oh, yeah, I love those. Anyone can do that. So they're just around the kitchen table with a bunch of candles, and they
Hmm.
sit and hold hands. And that's pretty much it. They're like, Grandpa, Grandpa. And then it's not working. Everyone raise your hands.
Yeah. Try
Raise them
harder.
higher.
There's nothing to try. You're just sitting there. It was just funny. It's fucking hilarious. Try harder.
And then how does Grandpa manifest himself that time?
I think it's just his voice. I don't think we actually see it. Like everything turns to white, and then you just hear like the grandpa's voice.
Yeah, it was like something. It's something about like I have till 6 o'clock, and then I'll disappear forever, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he come in like human form?
He does at the witch's house once the kid is transported there, but I don't think he's in form during the seance scene, from what I
Oh
recall.
yeah, they're talking. He's trying to get him to come through the mirror, and then it's that witch in the mirror. And then before this, she got her. Oh, no, it wasn't before. Um, yeah, she comes through the mirror instead of
Yeah,
Grandpa, and
in
then
Holly's
turns into
room.
a
Yeah.
goblin when she's there. Dad comes in, or no, Grandpa comes in human form
Hmm.
and chops her hand off with the green goop coming out. And then she jumps back into the mirror, and they have this really pretty cool effect. It was like reversing camera footage,
Yeah.
fixing the mirror. She's in it, and then you see that she's back home,
Missing an
and her
arm.
hand's
Yeah.
cut off. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she puts it into the crack in the rock with smoke coming out. Like a lot of this budget went to dry ice. Everything has dry ice in it, and it's bubbling. And she puts her hand into this crack in the rock face, and it's glowing. And then it heals her hand, and then her face is no longer has makeup on, or less gaudy
Yeah.
makeup.
She's a
Still
babe now. Yeah.
makeup. Yeah, now she's hot looking, and her teeth are fixed. And then she goes to seduce like the last friend in the camper, and he's like, "Oh
Watching
hey,
TV. Yeah.
a babe. Oh yeah." And it's like, what kind of program is this? And it's her dancing with like a piece of corn. What kind of program is this? And she's like, I'm not a program. I'm real
I'm
life.
real. Yeah. Come outside.
And then he does, and she comes in, and she has a piece of corn. And now all of a sudden, a corn will change you. Like, any vegetable will do now. What the fuck was up with all the goop? Anyway, she's trying to get him to eat this corn. He's like, aren't you hungry? And she's like showing her leg and stuff. And he's like, I do like popcorn. Well, this isn't popcorn, so I don't know what you're talking about, man. Oh, if you like popcorn, all we gotta do is heat it up. And then, like, straddles him on top of him. And then they both start eating the corn from opposite ends like they're making out. And then popcorn from off camera starts flying in the room
Oh my
and onto
god.
them. And that's pretty much all we know. And that's all that scene was. I mean, later
Oh Jesus.
in the movie, we cut back to him, and he's covered in popcorn, and he spits a bunch of popcorn pieces out of his mouth. He's like, "Oh, I never want to eat popcorn again." I, but that's the most explanation we get.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't fucking know.
Oh
Man.
Jesus.
Anyways, and at some point, she gets swapped places with the boy. Now the boy's at the castle the house that looks like a church where she lives, right? And he's about to be eaten or something. I don't remember how he gets free.
Hit the fucking bologna, the 5 decker bologna
Oh
sandwich.
my god. Grandpa gives him a backpack.
Oh,
And he says,
God.
"Here, you must use this, but don't use it unless you absolutely have to." How will I know? You'll know. Opens it because they're swarming in on him, and he's like, "Oh, the backpack."
This is the time. This is the moment.
And he's like, "What is that you have?" A quadruple decker bologna sandwich. They're like, "No, don't eat that. The nitrates alone, the cholesterol, no." He takes a
Oh
bite,
god.
and what is it? It was like just fucking melts them.
I don't
It
remember.
like
I think
starts.
they just like go backwards or something. No. I don't remember.
Oh, it's almost as bad as a hot dog. Oh.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's so all over the place. It's like that finale. There's a finale in the house. There's the third finale. I don't fucking know what's going
Oh
on.
god.
Um, the I think I don't know, but somehow they're all gone. Right? They all die. Oh, they're all puking from like the meat,
Yeah,
from him eating meat.
they hugged the fucking Stonehenge wall, and the family shows up, and he's like, "Come
Oh
here, touch the
fuck!
wall. The power of love."
The grandpa says only the power of good can defeat the goblins. Touch the stone. What?
Oh god.
What's a what? This makes less sense than the Molotov. So when the family comes in, hurry, touch the stone. Oh, don't you get it by now? Only the power of good can defeat the goblins. So they're all touching this stupid
Oh
stone,
my god.
and he's like, concentrate on what? What are we doing?
Oh my god.
Anyways, they all die and start puking up green goop, and they're dead. And then that's it. They all go home. They go home to the Norman house. Oh man, it's good to be home. Or did they go home to their vacation house?
No, they
They
went
go all
home.
the way home.
Yeah, they went
All
all
the
the
way
way home.
home. Oh man, it's good to be home. Open up the fridge. Um, there's like 4 apples,
A bowl of
right?
apples.
Are,
Yeah.
hey, are you hungry, son? It's just mom and the son. I don't know where the dad and
For some
sister
reason,
are.
when the van pulls up, the dad's like, "I'm gonna go to the office," and Holly's like, "I'm gonna go to my
Mm-hmm.
boyfriend's house or something." For I don't know what, maybe just to get them out of the scene. I don't know, but yeah, they just decided to go somewhere else.
Yeah. And oh look, apples. It's fresh fruit. We didn't put it there. What are you fucking doing? And she starts. No, I'm just gonna go up to my room. Okay, I'm gonna eat this fruit, then take a shower. And then he hears some grumblings or noise, and he goes downstairs and he sees the apple with the bites taken out of it, and it's got like some of that green goop kind of on it. And he's like, "Oh no!" Goes upstairs, and the shower's full of green goop. And then goes into the kitchen or something again.
Yeah.
Somewhere she's on a table or something, and it's all the goblins after they've already died. Like, because you remember the goofy goblin I liked with the eyes? It's like
Hmm.
popped and stuff, and like. Anyways, they're back. They're fine, and they're eating his mom. They're eating my mom. The best lines, man. And they're slopping her up,
Hmm.
grabbing little handfuls and sliding it in their disgusting mouths. And what do they say to Joshua? Hey, Joshua, want some?
Yeah. Last
And it
line
just
of the
cuts
movie.
back to him. Ah! Yeah, then we get a freeze frame on his screaming face, and we get some credits and some synthesizers. I don't know, man, why I was drawn to this as a kid. Um, but I liked it. It was so weird.
Yeah.
Um, I still like it. It's still fun. Like this people talk about The Room and people talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
this. I feel like The Room is a far better film than this. Like technically and dialogue even with
Hmm.
all its flaws. Oh, hello, Mark. Why, Mark? Why?
Oh
I
God.
think it's still technically a better piece, and that's saying something, man. But there is this charm of these people who have never acted before,
Yeah.
just on screen. Oh man, I don't know. I enjoy it. I couldn't find it anywhere to stream. Had to rent it for $3.99. I think they do have it on like Tubi and some other free platforms, but it had ads, and I was just like, well, I don't want to fucking watch it. I'll pay the $4 and
Yeah.
go ad free. So it's pretty hard to find. It's been released on DVD and Blu-ray a couple times. By like Laugh Factory or one of those small
Yeah.
publishers that do little tiny movies.
It has like cool box art, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I didn't pay attention. There's a difference in VHS. There's a difference in versions. Like where one version the guy mouths the sandwich is good versus saying it. And I didn't pay attention to the movie. I didn't even know the scene they were actually talking about, so I don't know which version it was. But I don't know. I think it's so bad. It's a 5 for me. It's like if you're gonna weigh it on its technical merit, maybe it's closer to a 3. But I think it's so bad that it's easily a 5, and a 5 tells people on a bad movie, yeah, it's worth a watch, and I think it definitely is. I think it's fun and ridiculous. The costumes are fun. Some of the effects are good. All the dialogue, introducing a witch, introducing a bologna sandwich that has powers, giving him a Molotov cocktail, never using it, beating him with the power of good by touching a rock, seducing a guy with popcorn and then just leaving him and never mentioning it again.
Yeah.
You know, it's so out there. It's so good. Yeah, it's a 5. I love it.
Yeah, this is a hard movie to like rate because on one hand, this movie fails on almost every fucking metric of filmmaking that it's like it's bad. But on the other hand, because it's so bad, it's comedic, so you're kind of having a good time with it. So it's like, where on the fucking rating scale does a movie like this fit? You know, it's tough. I do say that it's unfortunate I didn't get to watch this with anybody else. I watched it by myself, and I felt like, to be honest, I think that the charm and goofiness of this movie kind of went away after about 30-40 minutes. After like 30-40 minutes, I was kind of like, all right, let's, this isn't like that funny anymore. Like I get it. I mean, there's some couple moments towards the end where I get chuckled, like the popcorn situation, but overall, I'm like, man, I kind of wished I watched this with Sarah or watched this with like a group of friends. I probably would have enjoyed it a little more. But when you're watching it by yourself at fucking 7 o'clock in the morning, it's like, all right, let's wrap this up. So yeah, this may piss people off, but because I know there's a lot of fans of this movie, and I can understand why. But I'm going with the fact that this movie is just bad. I'm going with a 4. This movie is really bad. But again, like with the caveat that like it's still funny and enjoyable in the ways, like if you're into that kind of thing, you're probably going to get more out of it. So yeah, I don't know. I know that's hurts people to hear, but yeah, to me it's a 4. It's pretty bad.
I don't think that's that controversial of a score. Because I've seen like its ratings are like 2s.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's what a lot of people were throwing at it. So I think 4 and a 5 is showing people that we can appreciate what it is.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that controversial. Anyways, Troll 2, Goblins, really. They should just rename the damn movie and change all the the fonts and the covers. But it's kind of locked into that now. People know it. And also, everybody, if this interests you at all, watch it and then check out the documentary Best Worst Movie Ever Made.
I definitely want to check that out.
Really cool documentary. It won some, indie awards for documentary too. Really cool. Check it out. 4 and a 5. Go check out Troll 2. You're gonna have to rent it or find a really obscure DVD somewhere. Yeah. Okay, but check it out. You owe it to yourselves if you've never seen the Best Worst Movie Ever Made. Okay. We enjoy having you. Appreciate it as always. Every Sunday, you come join us and talk about a horrible or a great movie. We never know until we get to the end. Spotify. We're also on Apple Music, and we're always here on YouTube. We appreciate having you. Thank you for coming by. And till the next piece. Peace.
Peace.